everybody, truth seekers. Welcome back. Zach here. We were just talking about the new Republican plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. Obamacare, the health care plan of the Obama administration that was created by the Republican Mitt Romney. And now the Republicans are repealing Obamacare and replacing it with a different Republican plan. And I want to show you what's so interesting about the name of this plan they chose. Their introduced plan to repeal and replace Obamacare is called the American Health Care Act. And here's what's so interesting about that name. In Gematria, the name sums to 88, just like the Republican Party, just like Trump. And making this a little funnier, the name Clinton equals 87, and the Democratic Party sums to 87. This nation, everything that is done by our government is by the numbers. Remember, it was yesterday, March 6th, that they announced this plan to repeal and replace. Yesterday was 45 days since Donald Trump took office, Inauguration Day. He's the 45th president. One of the focus of the Republican Party and the administration is repealing and replacing Obamacare. Well, at first they started with just repealing Obamacare. Then they said, well, we're going to have to repeal and replace it. Remember, on February 28th, see if this just pulls it up right here. February 28th, the Republican Party came out and said they did not have any party leadership to repeal Obamacare without essentially replacing it as it is. This was the news February 28th. Obamacare repeal bill loses support. And this was February 28th, the 59th day of the year. Obamacare equals 59, the number stamped on black people throughout history. Obamacare, named after the first black president. It's all news by the numbers, Truth Seeker. If you missed my video from February 28th, I'll link that below. I said, no matter what the Republican Party does, it's going to end up being essentially the same thing. This is just going through the motions, creating the confusion within society. If you pay attention to the Republicans and Democrats beyond their rhetoric, and you look at the voting records, you look at the things they actually implement with their power, the two parties govern the same. Obamacare was a Republican bill passed by a Democratic president that's now being repealed and replaced by, different Republican minds. In the end, it's not going to be that much different. And they named it ever so accordingly. If you want to get on gematrinator.com, this website makes Gematria very easy. The name Clinton 87, just like the name Trump is 88 with the same method. Look at the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, 87, just like Clinton. Change it to the Republican Party, 88, like Trump. Remember that number goes back to the first recognized president of the nation, George Washington. The 187 is also interesting because Washington, D.C. has the gematria of 187. Again, Trump's convention was in Cleveland, July 18th, 18/7, 187 days before Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C. So I'll link these posts if you want to go back and read them, but it's just news by the numbers, Truth Seeker, like it is every day. Gematria is the language used by the powers that shouldn't be. They code it into everything that is put before our eyes, including the latest, the American Health Care Act. And in case this is the first video of mine you've seen, go back and watch my videos going back to the beginning of Trump announcing he's running for president, and you can see from then to now on this video channel and on my blog, there's hundreds of documentation of 88 being coded next to Trump. Hundreds of times I've documented the mainstream media purposefully coding 88 in a story about Donald Trump. It happens a lot, and when you know the language of Gematria, you see just, again, how often this number is used. There's been so many headlines. 88 generals come out against Donald Trump. All throughout the year. 88 this, 88 that. Now we got the American Health Care Act. News by the numbers. So I'll link all the posts below, Truth Seeker. I'll link this CNN article if you want to read the early hype. Remember, don't put too much stock ever in what you read. Think about how the media has no credibility. They'll write something one day, the next day it's the complete opposite. Whatever they write about this bill now, watch in 6 months. It'll probably be all different. So, don't waste your time investing much in the information of the news. Maybe just pay attention in the same way I do to document how nonsensical it is and how worthless it ultimately is. The media is here to control us, to steer us. It's not here to inform us or empower us. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time. Core, because it's March 7th, 2017, a date with 47 numerology, 3 plus 7 plus 20 plus 17 equals 47. Let's remind that Republican and Democrat both share reduction gematria of 47. Very significant number in Washington, D.C., land of the president, land of the White House, land of government. Are you seeing all the 47s in English reduction? Donald Trump on the night of the rigged election in Truth of Selection was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel that's hosted every president since JFK. And today, the second day of coverage of the repeal and replace bill, and today they give it a name that connects with the sitting president, the American Health Care Act. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.